Gang, time for another 5 on Friday. You ask the questions in the comments below. Ask me some questions. I will answer them for you about your landscape company. Okay? So, also, please subscribe if you like what you see. Hit subscribe. If you like what you're watching, hit subscribe. You can wait till the end, see if you like it, and hit subscribe. That's cool. All right, so don't forget, ask me the questions in the comments below. Let's go. All right, first question is from Hugo Garcia. Are perfect lawn stripes a must on your commercial accounts? Perfect lawn stripes are a must on all of our accounts, right, Hugo? You know that. No, quite honestly, we should strive to do the best job that we can do. No matter whether it's mowing, no matter whether it's trimming the shrubs, mulching, doing your spring cleanups, your fall cleanups, cutting out beds. Strive to do the best you can do. That's how you're going to get your reputation as a great company. Do great work. Try to do great work. Try to get a reputation as being a great company, a professional in your industry. And that goes for your trucks, that goes for your employees, that goes for uniforms, that goes for the entire image of your company. So it starts with maybe stripes, right? But you want to take that same pride in your mowing every week and make that, parlay that into your company. Parlay that into everything about your company's image, your company's, how does your company look to the customers when you pull up on the job, okay? How do you look as a crew, all right? How are you looking to your vendors when you go and drop off a mower for repair? Those people that work there, maybe they have houses, right? So maybe they need maintenance. So everything that we do as a company needs to be done as best as we can do it, all right? Good question though. Hey, straight lines rule. Dave Perry, question number 2. Hey Steve, how do you decide to start a second mowing maintenance crew? How many days, properties, and when would you say is sufficient to have a full-time enhancement landscape crew versus splitting crews from mowing to landscape specific jobs? Good question. You know, splitting crews from mowing to landscape specific jobs is kind of hard because the guys that do maintenance usually like to do maintenance. The guys that do plantings and that kind of stuff, enhancements, like to do that. So I found that I have specific crews for my enhancements, specific crews for my mowing. Those guys stay the same on the enhancement side. The mowing guys stay the same over there. So they don't kind of vary at all, except for in the spring when we're doing our mulch, and then we all kind of work together. However, when it comes to enhancements, I like to have a separate enhancement crew because I can charge a premium for that work. Okay, so I want to keep those guys busy. So when you get to a point where say you have a mow crew that you're mowing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you're doing your enhancement crews Thursday and Friday. Okay, say you're a smaller operation, you got 3 employees. If you are starting to get to a point where you can't keep up with that enhancement work, you might want to consider, hey, I'm just going to get another truck and trailer, okay, or maybe just another truck, throw a couple guys in there and start throwing these smaller, easier enhancement jobs to them and let them start doing them so that the other crew can concentrate on the more profitable enhancement jobs. As time goes by, you can start spinning that off and turning that crew into a full-time enhancement crew and then your mow crew into a full-time mow crew. When it comes to adding crews for mowing, I like to have a couple of days of mowing booked. Now, for someone who's starting out who's got just a 1-man operation or a 2-man operation and you've got 1 truck and 1 trailer, it's tough to decide when to add that other crew. If you're working Saturdays and you're working, say, Monday through Saturday and you're working 12-hour days, you're getting to that point, you could probably take and add another crew at that point with some of the overflow jobs so you're not working 12-hour days. Start adding a couple days here and then work on growing that route through advertising, word of mouth, whatever you can do to grow that route. Okay? It's hard to tell, you know, how many guys, how many houses, how many commercial accounts. Look at the hours that you have, look at the hours that you're working, decide is it a good time for me to start spinning that off. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Question number 3, Mike, 2008 Phillies. Hey Steve, how do you keep key employees during a lean winter? Is salary a good idea? I have lost employees the last couple of years due to no snow. I have to agree with you on that, man. That's tough. We've had a really lean winter the last 2 years. So I've been able to what we've done with our company is we've been able to get some enhancement work, some grub and clear work, you know, cutting trees down, small trees, not big trees. We don't do real big tree work. Clearing fence lines, clearing lots, things like that. Work that you can do in the winter because it's been so lean here in the Cleveland market. So I struggle with the same thing. I try to keep on, you know, several key people over the wintertime and pay them over the wintertime. It's really, really tough. There's not a really good answer, unfortunately, for this question. All right, next. Jacob Kreider, do you use the H-2B work visa program? He says he runs multiple crews and have become reliant on it for labor, which really bites us a lot of times because of the trouble with the government issuing the visas the past few years. He goes on to say that they're currently 80% visa and 20% American workers. The bottom line with this program, I've used it for a long time. I used it for almost 12 years. Great employees. It's a legal worker. For those of you that don't know, it's a legal visa program sponsored by the government. Bring people up from different countries, primarily Mexico. The guys come up, they work really hard for you. They do a great job. When labor is short, which we have a very hard time in my market, and most people that I know have a hard time. You run ads, you don't get a lot of people. You put a sign out, you don't get people applying for the jobs. It's just tough. It's tough. So the H-2B program is a great program for companies that have seasonal businesses. Now, having said that, we don't use it anymore, and I'll tell you why. The government has made it a nightmare. So we just stopped using it 2 years ago. Very, very difficult for us to get out of that program and into a whole new. We basically had to change the way we do things at our company. We had to change our culture, we had to change our training, we had to change pretty much everything from top to bottom to kind of learn how to run a company with a lot of turnover in employees. So we've gotten to the point where we have turnover, whereas with the H-2B program, we had a lot of the same guys coming up for 10 years in a row. So it's a different mindset. It's doable, but it's very tough, okay? I don't know if the government's going to fix this program. I'm not quite sure. I've been to Washington, D.C. several times myself to try and talk to our representatives about this in Congress, and it's a tough situation. If you are using the program, just get involved. Make sure that your representatives in D.C. know that you use the program. Send letters, do whatever you can. But it's very tough, okay? Great program, getting harder to use, unfortunately. Thanks for the question. Man, question 5 already? That was quick. All right, John Boy's Lawn Service asks, starting out residential as you did, how long did it take to get into commercial, and did you start solo or with a crew? It took us a long time to get into commercial. We were probably primarily residential for the first 4 or 5 years, and then we picked up a condo association, and I remember because I was super surprised that they would pay us every month. So with the residential work, we got paid per cut. With commercial work, we got paid per contract. So it smooths out your cash flow. And so I decided, I would rather have more of the commercial work than the residential work. Now remember, this was a long time ago. So we decided to go more into commercial work, and we started growing it. So we were doing primarily residential, then we ended up adding commercial jobs, a condo association here, an HOA over here, maybe a small business over here. We'd get a day, then we get 2 days, then we get 3 days. Eventually it got to a point where we made a decision we're 99% commercial now. So that was our decision. I think it worked out for us. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. Commercial's got its own pitfalls, just like residential. So if you're really good at one or the other, and you don't really have a desire to switch, then don't do it just to do it. All right, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, ask your questions. I'll answer them. I'll be back next Friday. I'm working on some more day in the life videos. I think those go over pretty well. Tell me what you want to see. I'll try to accommodate you. I've been really busy. I wasn't able to do a day in the life video this week because it's just been crazy. But hey, keep working, keep going. You guys are great. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.